आपका आज की वीडियो में।
स्वागत है।
आज जो वीडियो हम लेकर आए इसका टाइटल है
मोस्ट शॉकिंग थिंग्स इन इंडिया फॉर फॉरेनर्स।
तो चलिए देखते हैं वीडियो। लेकिन से पहले
इस वीडियो इस चैनल का ओरिजिनल लिंक आपको हमारी वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन मिल जाएगा। सब्सक्राइब करिए, लाइक करिए, शेयर करिए, फॉलो करिए इनके चैनल को। उसके अलावा लोग चैनल का लिंक, इंस्टाग्राम लिंक भी हमारी वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन मिल जाएगा। सब्सक्राइब करिए, लाइक करिए, शेयर करिए, फॉलो करें।
चलिए देख लेते हैं ये वीडियो।
Meet George, a businessman who lived in Africa and Kazakhstan before moving to India to work in financial technology. He shared why foreigners shouldn't trust books about India, how to make friends with Indians as a foreigner, and why India is the best place to start a business right now. I'm Chernov, your insider to Expat Life. Chalo! Can you recall any memorable stories from your 2.5 years in India?
It was maybe 2 months ago. We left a window open in our apartment. We are and it is 6th floor. It's not low. And once we came back, we found some nuts on the floor and some pen, biting, like someone was biting a pen. What's that? And then we stepped to the office room, my wife's office room, where really the window was left open. And it turned out that there were traces of nuts coming to the window. And there was another pen sitting outside. So we got to understand that it was a monkey who got inside. Recently, some monkey family, they came to the area, and sometimes they come to the nearby trees to eat some nuts growing nearby. So I don't know how the animal just got to the point, because it is really not easy for him to climb up to our window and get inside. And frankly, we were lucky, because usually once the monkeys get inside, they break everything. They are like crows. They enjoy bright things, they enjoy gold and so on. Everything in my wife's room was in a perfect condition, nothing broken. The animal just got the nuts to eat and was interested to chew our pens for some reason. That's it.
Very polite and maybe academically oriented monkey. It's amazing. You live in the heart of Bangalore. I was at your house last time, and you're basically surrounded by real nature. How cool is that?
Yes, we like it. This is the reason why we're staying in this apartment. We didn't expect this monkey guy to come. I've seen him several times after that. I know who is the visitor.
What's your path to India? Why you decided at some point to move to India, not somewhere else?
I had a choice between where to start a project. And this choice was between India and a couple of European Union countries. And it was just the first month since Russian-Ukrainian war started. But definitely on the macroeconomic point of view, it was evident. The impact on the European Union, that it will be really negative, and that's what we see for the last years, how it's going. And definitely I decided that the Indian markets will not feel such tremendous impact like the Europe has, and that India has much better perspective to grow. And frankly, that time it was not evident that India will be leading among the large economies, will be leading in its economic growth. Because China was, after COVID, it was catching up very well. So it was not going down like it's going down right now. But anyhow, we were considering only 3 markets, 2 in the European Union and 1 in India. So decided in favor of Indian market. And also, I've lived in some African countries before. And for me, moving from European country into India, it's not a stress, it's not anything bad, because frankly speaking, from let's say common life point of view, you can arrange it, you can get accustomed to the local life.
Any advice how to organize your life as a foreigner to be comfortable in India?
First of all, you shouldn't try to to study from the books. You should rely on advice of the people who are already living here, I don't know, for a year, 2 years, 5 years, and so on. First thing, the foreigners should find some expat community and ask those members. because really it is the most reliable way. Yes, expats from different parts of the world, they can have different expectations about some, I don't know, quality of apartments and so on, but still they have more or less proper expectations. And they can also advise regarding doctors, drivers, maids. So you can really rely on the other people because they already went via the same journey and they understand how you are feeling in their shoes. So they are open to assist you absolutely for free. They will give advice, maybe they will recommend some homemates or some assistants or even they can recommend some landlords. Because in Bangalore it's not easy. You have to go via KYC. It's the best way, to present your documents, to present your CV, to tell about your company, that the company is reliable, it will not go bust and so on. Or maybe landlord will ask some extra crazy questions to make a decision in your favor.
Like what?
What are your hobbies? Like, do you enjoy clubbing? Do you drink vodka or not? Or whatever.
I see you do this movement with your head, so you definitely been like localized. Any like other habits that you obtained living in India?
I think the only habit which I obtained is not this one. The habit to cross the road in any convenient place. So because some people consider it hectic, chaotic. The drivers, they can drive any direction, so I don't follow it. I don't do it, I follow the rules. But as a pedestrian, I can cross the street anywhere, despite the traffic and so on. Because I understand, if I just go to the crossroads, to the traffic lights, and I wait, unfortunately, most of the drivers will not follow the traffic lights. And as a pedestrian, I don't have any advantage once it's my green light. So, in the case I can go anywhere if I see a gap between the cars.
Do you have like local friends, Indian friends?
The first answer is yes. The second answer, just one. So this is my former landlord. So it turned out he rented out apartment in his family house. He has different buildings and he's renting them out, but this apartment was at the same house where he lives, his wife and his children. He was pretty nice with us. We had some parties together, we had some conversations together.
With that guy, your friend, do you feel it's like you have some cultural barriers, or for you is pretty easy to get along well with the guy?
I would not say that we have cultural barriers. We definitely have cultural, let's say, differences. He has his own holidays. Religious holidays. We have our own holidays. But in general, he traveled a lot. He knows the world outside. He speaks great English. He speaks many languages because people here in the south, they usually speak at least 3-4 languages. Educated people. It was really easy for me to get along with him.
Fintech industry is booming, is growing in India. What other sectors do you see that are booming in India, and what business opportunities do you think that are presented now in India?
If someone can set up a proper taxi driving company, so he will be a king, because definitely there is a demand, and we've seen new arrivals. Some couple of new arrivals came within a year. But they don't have proper fleet. They don't provide a proper coverage across the city. That's why we cannot rely on them. I don't know whether Uber will improve, whether some other company among competitors will catch up. Let's see. Regarding the other consumer-focused industries, there is also definitely a gap in the beauty industry. Because there are no, let's say, set standards. It's not for the men, it's more for the women. So usually expat women, they suffer a bit once they arrive here, because the local beauty salons, sometimes they are not up to the mark. You don't know the quality of the service they finally delivered until you go and test it on yourself. And the references from the previous clients are not proper as well. It's not because they are fake references, because if the client is not expecting high standards, so you're getting a nice response saying, I am happy, like it was done well. But for some other girl, it is not done well because she has much higher expectations. So I know that some foreign companies are looking at this market, and maybe they will gonna expand here to improve the beauty industry.
Speaking about fintech, like UPI is like so large, like it's huge in India, right? And I think Indians are pretty proud that they basically can pay for the like vegetables at the market using UPI. Any other trends that you see on the fintech market overall, or maybe some examples from your industry as well?
Remote KYC arrived to the market before COVID here. For instance, in most of European countries, it was just imposed by COVID. Once the people were stuck during the lockdown and the banks had to find some solution, and they turned to the government and pushed the government to allow them some remote KYC rules.
For people who don't understand what KYC is.
Okay, once you are a banker or you are some fintech and you need to sign up a new customer, you need to run know your customer KYC checks in order to fight like money laundering and all those things. Before that, it was just in-person meeting between some relationship manager and the client. While now in India you can do KYC remotely, and this is the major driver for the fintech growth. It's anywhere. I mean, you can take the payment industry, for instance, PhonePe, Bharat, Google Pay. You can become a customer without any physical visit. You just download the app, you run like video KYC, and so you are there, you can start making payments. Or if you need to apply for a loan, again, you download the app, you fill in your details, of course you make photos of your documents, and you make video, or you make selfie, and then again you're enrolled as a customer. So this is, I think, the major breakthrough, because that's the difference between the, let's say, European Union and even the United States and India. That India is really easy on remote KYC. Of course, there are rules, there are restrictions. You cannot move for millions of USD cross-border after remote KYC. But for common people who are just spending, I don't know, like 1 lakh or 2 lakh per month, this is fully fine. I mean, the limits allowed by the government and by RBI, and then Central Bank of India. Those limits upon what are the transactions allowed after remote KYC, they are fully fine.
What about your product? What's the business that you're doing, and how your product is actually helping Indians or helping the market?
We are a digital lender. We provide personal loans, but there is some feature to our product which make it specific. Okay, there are a couple of features. One feature I can make public during the interview, the other one I'll keep as a small secret. So the first feature is revolving loan limit. So you get a loan limit, so you get you make a disbursal from this limit, you pay back, and then you can use it again and again. You don't need to apply for a new loan, and this is pretty convenient for the customers. The other feature allows us to go lower than the competitors with our customer acquisition cost, and I'm pretty happy with that. The main peculiarity of the Indian customers is that they are really price focused. Even like rich people, they care how much they pay. They pay attention to the rates, they pay attention to the fees. And you need to pack your product in the proper way that the customer is not worried that it is too expensive. So, I mean, we have a landing app which is driven via Google and Apple Store. So, I mean, we've proven our business model, we've proven our initial financial assumptions. So, and we started the expansion. We initially started selling loans in 2 states, Karnataka and Gujarat. And then we added, in June, we added one more state. It's Maharashtra. It's the largest Indian state where Mumbai is based. So Viva Money is growing well and growing.
What are the, let's say, insights of consumer behavior you learned through your product or through your business?
Well, first thing, there are really some state-wise peculiarities. You cannot say that all Indians, like in different states, they behave the same. So first thing, for instance, on the demand side, if we can take and make analysis of the 3 states we're running business, Maharashtra has the highest demand, and it has the cheapest cost of acquisition. So if we take a look at the risk point of view, so Maharashtra and Karnataka, they are also good, while for instance in Gujarat, people from the diamond industry, they're not paying back well now. Maybe there was some layoffs in the industry or something like that, but once we compare the 3 states, we understand that Gujarat has a bit higher delinquency than the other 2.
What's the purpose of loaning money through your app, through your product? What could I spend money on that I borrowing from you?
Well, frankly, this is cash. You can utilize cash for any purpose. So we don't limit, so you can, I don't know, buy some appliance, you can buy some gifts, you can pay for travel, I mean, I don't know, tickets, hotel, you can pay for some school fees. So you make a withdrawal to your own saving account in the bank, and then you make a payment from this account via card, via UPI, or you take cash from the account. So really it is non-purpose personal loan.
How Viva Money is different from the competitors? Why you're better, if I can put it this way, than your competitors?
First of all, once we were building the customer journey, we did our best to make it simple, because irrespective of being digital savvy, many customers are not financially literate. And many customers just don't understand the products. I mean, loans, how the loans are structured, how they will need to repay, and so on. Yes, of course, every lender is disclosing all the details as per RBI guidelines. But frankly, this disclosure also looks complicated for the customer who is not financially literate. So we did our best to make it clear for the customer what will be the payment, I mean, before he makes any disbursal, when he has to pay, what is the what are the dates available, and so on.
Why do you think your product became successful in India, and why this type of product is needed in India?
First of all, there is a huge demand for any personal loan. It's not only for Viva Money, it's also like competitors are also feeling the same. And frankly speaking, Central Bank of India, RBI, is even worried regarding the personal loan growth across the market. And they were trying to cut the growth rates. They were communicating to the market that, guys, you should not grow as much, and so on and so on. Why the situation is going this way? First of all, well, and unfortunately, the income levels are not high. And sometimes people cannot afford to buy some home appliances or to pay for some services based on their salary or based on their profit from the business. Because in my business, we don't get focused on the salaried people only. We also provide loans to self-employed. I mean, to some small business owners. That's why I mentioned the income from the business. So this gap on the income side is driving the loan industry. Because you're just, I mean, as a customer, you're borrowing from the future. You take money now to buy something what you cannot afford now, then you pay it back and you do it again. The opposite side is saving via some deposits, but in the case you cannot afford to get goods and services right away.
And you physically located in Bangalore, your office is there,
Yes,
right?
yes, I'm making a call with you from my office where my team sits in Bangalore.
How many people you have?
We currently have about 40 employees on the team. So we have two offices. One is, let's call it HQ, where like finance, legal, risk team are located. While we have operations sitting separately, where the different contact center teams are located and where they service the calls and support the customers via the application.
Is it mostly Indians, your teammates?
Out of 40 people, we have just 2 expats based here, so 38 are Indians. And I mean, we're not going to hire any more expats, and we're not going to relocate any more expats to Bangalore. There is no need. You can hire proper quality staff in India. Yes, it takes some time from HR to do a proper selection. It may take, as I mentioned to you earlier, a bit longer to arrive to a success, but definitely you can find high quality people.
What roles are you hiring right now to your team?
We have a couple of positions we're searching for in the risk team. And frankly, those are the most complicated people to hire on the market. Because I mean, we have pretty high standards.
Is it difficult for you as a foreigner to create a product for Indians? What should you do to understand the Indian market needs as a foreigner?
It's everywhere. Any country where you arrive, you should first study what is available on the market, then make a comparison to the international examples. For instance, I mentioned like those payment apps earlier on, yeah? So you compare with some international examples, not solely from the European markets, but also we did analysis of Vietnamese market, Indonesian market, to compare like what are the expectations of the Asian customers as well. And then once we built some draft of the customer journey, we made some screens, we hired some mystery shoppers, and we shared different versions of our customer journey, and we tested it with the local customers to get a feedback. You know, with local customers, there is one complicated thing. They try to guess what you're expecting to hear. If you do a survey, it's not easy. You should not give any, you should ask open questions. In the case, they will give you their own thoughts. Otherwise, they can try to tick the box based on their feelings that, okay, this guy is expecting my answer that way. You understand? It's not easy. You need to make many interviews. You cannot make a judgment based on 2-3 interviews, for the reason that it's cultural thing. You need to get accustomed to it. But well, I got advice from some other experts. George, please pay attention. Indian customers are trying to give you answer what you're expecting. Don't get into this trap.
Very interesting. Why do you think that's the cultural thing for them? They are trying to match the answer with your expectations.
It's my guess. I may be wrong regarding the reasons. I guess that they are trying to avoid any type of a conflict. They are trying to settle it down in some easy way. At least in the south, over here, in Bangalore, Karnataka, and like Tamil Nadu, other states, people are pretty peaceful. I'll explain why I'm coming to it, answering your question. So, for instance, getting into some fight at the street, it is not good. No one will feel proud that he got into a fight, even if he won. So they want to solve any problems, any issues in a peaceful way. Once someone comes to the market and asks them, okay, what is the best solution and so on, and if the customer doesn't have a proper experience, or maybe he doesn't know what to answer, for him it's some kind of a challenge, it's a problem, and he wants to solve it in the most peaceful way, and the most peaceful way is just to guess, Max, what you're expecting? Okay, you're right, to make you happy. But that's not what makes you happy. The honest answer about whether the customer journey and the screens are good or not good, from his personal point of view, that makes you happy. And first you should persuade and explain it to the customer.
It's fascinating. We will leave a link for Viva Money in the description so people can see the product itself if they're interested, or like the job opportunities, or maybe like some PR opportunities.
किसी भी कंट्री में जब आप जाते हैं ना तो मेरा ख्याल है कि आपके लिए जाते साथ ही जो है ना दिक्कतें तो वहाँ पर होती हैं, आपको वहाँ की मार्केट को समझने, वहाँ पे लोगों को समझने में थोड़ा सा टाइम जो है वो लगता है, लेकिन जो है ना मेरा ख्याल है कि भाई बाकी दुनिया से अगर कंपेयर किया जाए तो आपको साउथ एशिया जो है ना, मुझे जहाँ तक लगता है यहाँ पे जो कंट्रीज़ हैं, मैं इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ वगैरह की यहाँ पे बात नहीं करने लगा, मैं वैसे एक बहुत सिंपल वे में बात करने लगा कि आपको यहाँ पे लोग जो हैं वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा जो हैं हेल्पिंग और काफ़ी ज़्यादा वेलकमिंग जो है वो नज़र आते हैं। फिर उसके बाद यहाँ पर आपको जो है ना दुनिया की निस्बत जो है ना चीज़ें काफ़ी सस्ती नज़र आती हैं।
अच्छा, मैं यहाँ पर बोलूँगी अभी के बीइंग अ पाकिस्तानी, मुझे लगता है हम तो एक ऐसे बबल में रहते हैं कि हमें ये लग रहा होता है कि जैसे हम है ना ऐसे ही पूरी दुनिया, लेकिन जब आप दुनिया में बाहर निकलते हो तो आपको आइडिया होता है कि लोगों को भी आपको स्टडी करना होता है, हर किसी के कल्चर को, उस जगह को, लोगों का क्या बिहेवियर है, ये सब आपको पता होना चाहिए। क्योंकि हमारी एक्सपेक्टेशंस ये होती है कि हम जहाँ जा रहे हैं ना तो भाई हम वैसे ही रहेंगे जैसे हम वहाँ पर रहते थे। तो ये जो डिफरेंस है, मैंने ये फॉरेनर्स में देखा कि उनको बहुत अच्छे से पता है कि आपने जिस कंट्री में जाना, आपने उस कल्चर को अच्छे से स्टडी करना है, लोगों को, बिहेवियर को, क्या वहाँ की रिचुअल्स हैं। तो मुझे लगता है कि इस तरह से क्या होता है कि आप रिस्पेक्ट अर्न करते हो। अभी जैसे हम लोग फाइनेंशियल मार्केट की बात करें, मैं खुद बहुत वीक हूँ इन चीज़ों में, मुझे फाइनेंस के बारे में इतना ज़्यादा आइडिया नहीं है, बट काफ़ी अच्छा उन्होंने समझाया है। आई मीन जो गैप्स उन्होंने बताया कि जहाँ पर आकर जो कंपनीज लोन प्रोवाइड करती हैं वो किस तरीके से उस गैप को फिल करती हैं और उससे पीछे क्या रीज़न होते हैं, उसके बारे में डिस्कस किया है। फिर एक चीज़ मुझे बड़ी अच्छी लगी कि हम जितने भी फॉरेनर्स के वीडियोस देखते हैं, उनकी जो ओपिनियन है वो ये हमेशा बोलते हैं कि लाइक जो न्यूज़ में दिखाया जाता है या जो बुक्स में लिखा हुआ है या कोई कुछ भी इस तरीके का, उस पर आप यकीन ना करें, आप लोगों की एडवाइस लें जो कि पहले ट्रैवल करके आ चुके हैं, उनका क्या एक्सपीरियंस है, क्योंकि वो सेम पाथ से गुजरे हैं। आपके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा चीज़ें जो फिर वो इजी हो जाती हैं।
अच्छा, कुछ लोग मैं देखता हूँ जो ट्रैवल करने भी आते हैं ना, वो चुन चुन के ना ऐसी जगहों पर जाते हैं जो कि वाकई में इस तरह की हों कि भाई आप कहते हैं कि यार दिखाने वाली जगह तो ये दिखा ही नहीं रहे, जो बहुत एक पिछड़ा हुआ जो है जगह वो दिखाई जा रही है,
एजेंडा लेकर आते हैं
बिल्कुल। लेकिन जो है ना हम जब देखते हैं ना बहुत सारे डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज की वीडियोस देखते हैं तो वहाँ पे भी आपको ये चीज़ देखने को मिलती है कि भाई उनके मुल्क में भी बड़े बड़े शहरों में कोई ना कोई ऐसी जगह होती है जहाँ पे एक साइड बहुत अमीर लोग रह रहे हैं ना, दूसरी साइड बहुत गरीब लोग जो है ना वो भी जिंदगी जो है वो बसर जो है वो कर रहे हैं। तो वो चीज़ बेसिकली हमारे सामने जो है वो नहीं आती। बाकी हाँ भाई, आप किताब जब पढ़ते हैं तो वो एक बंदे का पर्सनल व्यू होता है, तो इसलिए आपको एक किताब पे नहीं, आपको मल्टीपल बुक्स जो है ना उनको जो है पढ़ना चाहिए। किसी इंसान के बारे में या किसी भी कंट्री के बारे में आपने पढ़ना हो, फिर उसके बाद जब आपने किसी मुल्क में ट्रैवल करना है तो जो लोग ट्रैवल करके आए हैं या तो आप उनसे मिलें, उनसे बात करें, या उस मुल्क के लोग जो आपके कंट्री में रह रहे हैं उनसे जो है आपको मिलकर जो है बात करनी चाहिए, फिर जो है वो अपनी ओपिनियन जो है बनानी चाहिए। क्योंकि जब आप देखते हैं ना न्यूज़, अच्छा यार वहाँ फलाने कंट्री में ये हो रहा है, हम तो नहीं वहाँ पे कभी भी जाएंगे, तो वो जो ओपिनियन होती है ना वो आपका सर्टन एक माइंडसेट बनाने के लिए पहले से ही तैयार की होती है।
बट मुझे लगता है कि अब धीरे धीरे लोग जो हैं, क्योंकि सोशल मीडिया जिस तरीके से मैनिपुलेट करता है, मेन स्ट्रीम जिस तरीके से मैनिपुलेट करता है, न्यूज़ को, इमेज को डिस्टॉर्ट करता है, डिफरेंट कंट्रीज़ की एक एजेंडा लेकर चलता है। मुझे लगता है बहुत ज़्यादा लोगों को तो नहीं, बट शायद कुछ लोगों को तो अब ये चीज़ जो है वो समझ आना शुरू हो गई है कि हमें खुद भी कुछ चीज़ें जो हैं उसको रिसर्च करना चाहिए। बाकी जिस तरीके से उन्होंने डिसाइड किया कि उनको इंडिया में जो है वो अपनी कंपनी स्टार्ट करनी चाहिए, ना कि यूरोप में, तो मुझे लगता है कि जियोपॉलिटिकली क्या इम्पैक्ट एक होता है बिज़नेस को लेकर, वो आपके लिए अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ कहाँ पर हैं, उसके लिए प्रॉपर एक रिसर्च करना, तो ये भी बहुत चीज़ें मुझे लगता है कि मैटर करती हैं। इनफैक्ट पोटेंशियल कहाँ पर किस कंट्री में ज़्यादा, जैसे उन्होंने बात भी की कि जैसे रशिया यूक्रेन की वॉर हुई लेकिन उसका खास असर जो है वो इंडियन मार्केट में नहीं होगा, तो वो चीज़ उनको वहाँ पर दिखी भी। और इस चीज़ का फ़ायदा जैसे कोई एक्सपर्ट आता है और आकर अपना मतलब कोई भी कंपनी स्टार्ट करता है, उससे लोकल्स को बहुत फ़ायदा होता है, उनको अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ मिलती हैं। जैसे 38 इंडियंस हैं, बाकी 2 सिर्फ जो हैं उनके जो एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं वो एक्सपैट हैं। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये चीज़ें जो हैं कंट्री के लिए भी बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छी होती हैं कि लाइक किस तरीके से कंट्री में जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ क्रिएट की जा रही हैं। बाकी जो गैप उन्होंने बात की, यस मुझे लगता है कि वो फिल होना भी बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी होता है, क्योंकि लोगों की जैसे अब वैसे अगर देखा जाए तो आई थिंक इंडिया की जो आम लोग हैं उनकी जो बाइंग पावर है वो भी अच्छी हो रही है, पर कैपिटा इनकम जो है वो भी अच्छी हो रही है। तो ऑब्वियसली जैसे जैसे इंडिया ग्रो करेगा लोगों की बाइंग पावर भी जो है वो अच्छी होगी और ये गैप भी जो है वो फिल होगा. बाकी मुझे लगता है कि चैलेंजेस तो हमेशा साथ रहते ही हैं, कुछ ना कुछ ऊपर नीचे तो लाइफ में होता ही रहता है. और जैसे जैसे कंट्री ग्रो करता है उसके कुछ आपको पर्क्स भी नज़र आते हैं, कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें भी नज़र आती हैं, ऐसी पॉलिसीज़ भी नज़र आती हैं जो कि आपके फेवर में नहीं भी होती. तो मुझे लगता है कि ये सारा एक ऐसा सिस्टम होता है जो कि कंट्री साइड बाय साइड हर चीज़ को लेकर चल रही होती है. कमेंट सेक्शन में आप ज़रूर बताइएगा कि आपको क्या लगता है इस गैप को किस तरीके से जो है वो कम किया जा सकता है. लाइक जो सैलरीज इतनी ज़्यादा नहीं है कि अफोर्डेबिलिटी में चीज़ें आ सकें, क्योंकि इंडिया जैसे ग्रो कर रहा है अब और आने वाले टाइम में जैसे इंडिया का एक बाय 2030 उनका एक गोल है, इंडियन गवर्नमेंट का गोल है कि इसको एक इस मुकाम तक लेकर जाना है. तो क्या आपको लग रहा है कि लोगों की इनकम में कितना आप देखोगे कि एक चेंज आया है, लोगों की बाइंग पावर कितनी चेंज होगी? कमेंट सेक्शन में जरूर बताइएगा. इससे ज़्यादा में
लाइक, सब्सक्राइब, शेयर. गुड बाय.